Hey y'all, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your time and attention. I promise I won't take too much. So, I just wanted to do some meal prep for my dinner this week, and I did decide to record because I was really reflecting while editing this video, and I just had to take some time and just sit in gratitude for how far I've come, specifically regarding my health journey. My health journey is something that I have been very intentional about. I have been very intentional about what I consume. And the main reason why I started to be more intentional is because I just wanted a better relationship with my body. I wanted to know my body more, to really connect with my physical vessel more. You know, it's the only one I have. It's the only one we have. And so, people who say take care of it while you have it, I know they can sound like broken records sometimes, and really just health freaks in general. I probably shouldn't have said health freaks. That was probably intense. People who have mastered their health and health journey as far as their consumption. It can feel very preachy sometimes. And I do want to go ahead and ask for forgiveness because I have my window open and I don't plan on closing it. I really love the outside noise and air during the day, so I have it cracked. So forgive me if you do hear that in the background. Hopefully it complements my voice or just the overall vibe of the video. However, the spiritual significance of taking care of my body is why I chose to be more intentional about doing so, because I want to be in full connection to myself and my physical vessel. Thank you, motorcycle. I really wanted to like this physical vessel. I set the intention to show up for this physical vessel so that I can be closer to it and I can love it more and I can appreciate it more and be grateful for it more. And how I showed up for it in the past looked nothing like gratitude, respect, love, or appreciation. It's so funny because I live across from an auto shop, and all days I feel like recording a voiceover. I want to sit directly next to my window. That's so funny. However, it got to a point with me, I was becoming more self-conscious of myself and my body and what I would eat at the time. And I remember some days I would eat and I would automatically feel guilty because I was eating something that tasted so good, but I just knew how awful it was for me. And so the whole knowing better and doing better, it started really messing with me because health is not that complex. Of course, go to the doctor, get checked up. Get your checkups for sure. However, when you're eating junk is what I'm saying. It's just that simple. You know when you're just not eating good. And unfortunately, there is levels to even being healthy. And sometimes you think you eating something that's good for you and it's not. That is its own level of irritation that I'm not even going to touch on yet. However, when I would eat junk, it just got to a point where I'm like, why are you doing this? It got to a point where I felt like my body was screaming at me, asking me to please stop, really telling me to stop and to take better care of her. I started really listening and paying more attention to myself, or even when I would be eating something semi-healthy or that I felt like was healthy when really it wasn't, because it had gluten in it. And turns out I can't eat gluten. I am gluten intolerant. It messes up my stomach. It messes with my bowel movements. Very bad. No gluten. No processed sugar also. Processed sugar and gluten make me bloat very bad. But processed sugar also dries out my skin and it breaks me out really badly. And so I just started to document the small things, maybe starting at the end of 2024. I started taking note of the small things that wouldn't sit right with me, that didn't make me feel good after I ate it. And even, especially dinner, the things that I would eat at night for dinner, or the food that I would eat at night for dinner, I would pay attention to how I felt waking up in the morning. And dinner for me is something that I actually have to be very intentional about. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. And I do think we all have to maybe take it easy at night, especially if you plan on going to bed soon after. You know, they say you're not supposed to go to bed right after you eat, and you're not supposed to eat late at night. And I really wanted to start there with my evening and my nighttime consumption, because I knew if I could just tackle that, then I would be off to a great start. Because in the evening and nighttime, that is when I get snacky. Like, I just want snacks. And then I want to eat my meal. And then I want to go back to snacking before I go to bed. Not good. I used to wake up in the morning feeling all of it still. I used to hate that. Being able to feel my food still on me, still sitting in my stomach when I would wake up. And the time I would eat and what I would eat. Just awful. So I have gotten very intentional about eating lighter, but still filling at night. I want something that's still very fulfilling, something that still leaves me full, but something really light. And a lot of people don't think that's something that can happen when you're eating healthy. But it is. There are so many healthy foods that can fill you up quickly. And that's what I'm so excited to show more of, because I used to be so closed off to eating too healthy because I didn't want my food to be boring and I didn't want it to taste bland. But for one, we're living in a time where health is becoming more of a priority. A lot of people are more health conscious. And so a lot of people are into showing off what they eat now and what they consume throughout the day. And so there are just a lot of great resources out there on social media specifically. If you do want to eat healthy and you don't want it to be boring. And I know this is probably the wrong time to talk about that with what I am cooking today, the specific meal that I'm having in this video. But it was so good. I promise. It was so good. In this video, as you can see, I have some sweet potatoes, carrots, broccoli, and chickpeas. I really needed this meal to be like a bulking meal for me. Like, heavy on the chickpeas and the sweet potato. I don't know. I've been trying to eat light, right? But I'm also on this bulking journey. I have lost a healthy amount of weight, but now I want to bulk up. I do physical activity 5 days a week, which is usually Monday through Friday. If I skip a day during the week, then I give myself Saturday or Sunday. But 5 days a week for sure. When I work out or exercise, either an indoor workout or I'm going to the gym. So, however, this meal, it feels really good and light on my belly, but I was so full. And that's really what matters to me. I do like eating until I'm full. That's just what it is. Okay, one thing at a time. I know they say that's bad. However, I just like feeling fulfilled. It's probably what I should say. I wanted this meal to be that. The sweet potato and the chickpeas were absolutely the fulfilling part. Carrots and broccoli, those were really light on my stomach. And I love the combination of all of it anyway. It tastes really good together, and it tastes really good coming out of the oven. I do not like soggy vegetables. I don't even like soft vegetables. I'm just be honest. Usually soft vegetables happen when you steam them. No, thank you. So I usually prefer the oven, or I will saute them on the stove. I love me a good saute. Now that's good. Becoming more intentional about my evening and nighttime consumption has made the biggest difference in my overall diet and health and journey. I feel better in the risings. I have more energy. And that's why I am more intentional about my nighttime routine. Not just with what I eat, but what I drink also. Drinking my tea, either with my meal or after my meal, also helps. Which my tea, it's usually a detox tea that I ordered from this online herbalist shop. Or it's fennel. I'll drink fennel tea. And I just feel like there is more of a flow going on inside of me. Like, I feel like not just food-wise, but energetically, I feel more aligned. I feel like I have more energy to be productive. I feel more inspired. No more brain fog. Eating junk creates brain fog. And that is the truth. It's unfortunate, but it is. And I know it's unfortunate. I'm not going to be one of the girlies that come down hard on people who eat junk food, because I completely understand. Junk food is good, okay? However, it's just bad for you. So, but I realized that it was not only contributing to my physical health, but my spiritual health, my mental health, and my emotions. Because what you eat, especially as a woman, anything can throw off our hormones, especially what we consume. And so all of it, heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, mindfulness, emotions, my productivity, my creativity, my artistry, I felt that starting to be affected, and I didn't like that because I love being a creative. I love being an artist. And whether it's writing, whether I'm writing a poem, whether I'm writing a blog, whether I'm writing music, whether I'm scripting, reflecting, manifesting, or painting my face, creating a physical look on me to enhance my natural beauty. It's like all of it just started to dwindle down, and I was no longer inspired. And I felt all of that gunk and toxicity starting to just leave my mind, my spirit. in this physical vessel, the more I consumed what benefited all of me. I have been finding my rhythm and my flow. It's still a journey. I am no master, okay? This is not my expertise. It is only my journey and me doing what works for me while also being open to newness and new ways of doing things and seeing how those may or may not work for me and finding different ways. And so I thank you for listening today. I thank you for watching today. Today was good. I hope it was good to you also. Stick around.